coronavirus. It's going to disappear. One day it's like a miracle. It will disappear.
So this is like the inception of racial discrimination of the virus segment I never seen before. So like, okay, black people already don't trust the vaccine. Boom. Okay, you finally convinced us to take the vaccine. Boom. And then we go and try to get the vaccine and you discriminate against us when we try to get it. You know, you think we're like stealing drugs. I don't know what's happening. It's like, this is the craziest shit. This is the craziest story of like, you know, so what's happening in Maryland right now? Pretty much residents, .dvg is. So residents are alleged racial discrimination at some Maryland vaccination sites. You know, this is like the inception of like, you know, white supremacy right here. This is what people talk about all the time, and then they go and get the vaccine, and this happens. You know, this is why we don't trust you. It's like, you know, like, so pretty much. We could scroll down and look at it, but like the long story short of it, white people can walk in here, or people pass as white, whatever. You can walk in here into some of these vaccination sites with no documentation, maybe with no shoes on, whatever. Get the vaccine, no questions. But as soon as like, you know, a woman or a black woman try to get a vaccine, they ask for additional documentation. They ask for, you know, W-2 forms. They ask for like,
what the fuck does? Yo, could you imagine if the virus only attacked certain people in a certain tax bracket? That would be something, right?
They asked 2 clergy members to W-2 forms to get the vaccine. What does that have to do with anything? Like, you know, so
yeah. I think that, you know, it might be one of these ploys. It might be a ploy.
Yeah.
Like, well, if we can get black people to take it, if we fake like it's something that's really cool that we don't want them to have, like housing and employment.
I mean, but people would go really far for these vaccines and then have to deal with all, like, they go into the DMV all of a sudden, you know. So they provide legal status for immigration status all of a sudden because they were Spanish. They had to ask for if they were American or not to get the vaccine. It's like clearly something that was going on in these stuff in Montgomery and Charles County in Maryland, which is very wealthy counties, I think, in Maryland. And this is discrimination that they were facing going at these vaccination sites. It's so bizarre. In some ways, it's not bizarre if you know what's going on in the United States. And,
how bizarre? How bizarre?
Oh, that 90s right there. So, yeah. So I know Six Flags site by bus. So, yeah, this is a crazy situation. I'm gonna pull up, and I'm gonna pull up, I guess, like even more kind of systemic, even more deeper article that's like even more advocacy about what's happening here. So they're not letting them get away with this. Like, yo, people, you know, old people who are sick who want to, you know, pretty much they're suing now. So it went from that to actually suing alleged racial discrimination. So it escalated really fast. I'm gonna put this up real quick. So the Maryland organization that supports people with disabilities sues 5 counties in Baltimore City alleging vaccine discrimination. So it got even bigger than the last story posted up. The last story was like 2 counties. Now it seems to be multiple counties in Baltimore alleging. So it goes even deeper down the rabbit hole of what's happening this the past few weeks. It hasn't even been that long. How can you be that nasty to people that over the span of this short amount of time that people are suing you now? So so this is what's happening right now in Maryland. So and it's just like, it's just different layers of, like, you know, I remember like this kind of reminds me of what happened in the beginning of the pandemic. Like people like, oh, if you're disabled or if you're like, you know, old, then you're gonna die from the coronavirus. So that doesn't mean I have to give a shit. I don't have to wear a mask. I'm healthy and nice. Also, it's like that real selfishness, and that's what's happening in a lot of ways with the vaccine discrimination. Like people see disabled people and be like, "Why you need a vaccine? Like you're gonna die anyway." You know, that's really what people making these weird decisions, and that's what the lawsuit is deeper. It's like racial disability. So like the lawsuit is like different layers of what's happening in Maryland. You know, so
and we wonder why. We have over 500,000 dead Americans because the customs, our just the way that we go about addressing people in our everyday life. It's always selfish. It's always me, my. Nobody else matters. I will step over your dying body to get wealthy, and it's the mindset is so pervasive throughout our society.
So he's saying now they're saying, oh, it could have been corrected with a phone call, like because they're putting even half a form for like physically disabled, mentally disabled people on the behalf to access the vaccine. Now,
Why does it even fucking matter though? Like,
so
if you need to achieve herd immunity,
yeah,
you see a human being that hasn't been vaccinated, vaccinate the motherfucker and keep it moving. They're making shit difficult where it's not difficult.
That's what it feels like, right?
Because they have to include some kind of social hierarchy of some kind, even when there's no place for it. There's no reason for it. It's not like, you're going to achieve Jeff Bezos level wealth if you get stabbed by a needle with the vaccine in it. No, it's to make sure that we can all get back to our lives. The same people complaining. No, we're not getting back to our lives. And then, you want to have, this is stupid shit. This is stupid shit.
Yeah, it's definitely a divided America that's divided. It's not just talk about divided. They use this term a lot, like, oh, it's divided America. No, it's divided in the sense that like people literally, like these problems I have.
It's not even partisanship either.
It's like deeper. It's deeper than like, it's like literally have like, an organization advocating for physically disabled people with development challenges, for them because they're so worried that they're just sitting at home dying or getting the coronavirus and die. There, some people with those conditions are higher risk of dying from coronavirus. So they're going to get the vaccine and the whole time they weren't even a part of the rollout. So that's crazy. So so this is what's going on here in Maryland. This highlights, and this is supposed to be like on the North Coast, on our coast, East Coast liberal kind of world. And this is what happens in the liberal side,
Yeah, that's why I don't give a fuck about the politics.
You don't want to talk about
talking
Texas
to me about
like Georgia or anything like that. Or Mississippi.
Yeah. Like that's why I don't subscribe to all of the shit that we hear about blue versus red. Like I don't and like there was this report about LeBron James recently being chastised by a washed up soccer player for speaking out.
LeBron's got whole schools with like kids going to college now and stuff.
Yeah, right. And it's like, oh, athletes are supposed to be athletes and politicians are supposed to be politicians. Since when is the murder of people that look like you, how is that a political issue? No, that's a human rights issue.
Yeah. And it can happen to LeBron too. He knows.
This is not about tax rates and how much it costs to pave a road. We're talking about people that look like me being killed for no reason. People spray painting racist propaganda on my gate, on my personal property.
That was like a few years ago. That was like recently.
Yeah. Yep. Wasn't even that long ago. So I think he just put that house up for sale too.
See, it's not so. Not only LeBron does the work, that he takes the heat for the work. It's like, and then to come out of your mouth and say that to him, it's like, I'm not. That's crazy. But that's wait. That's I gotta.
Yeah, it's not politics, people. This is real fucking life.
So that's Black Power Magic Hour. That's the virus segment. Just giving you vaccine update. A little special kind. So you can follow Black Power Magic Hour on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube on act.tv. Has over 47,000 subscribers. And Dr. Genius, he's live on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and I think Discord maybe, because Discord seems to be. I heard Discord might be Discord's really blown up. So that's Black Power Magic Hour. So follow us. The virus.